Okay. So now we're going to move into the offense. Okay. This is the fun part. We want to be aggressive and we want to win because we're Americans, and we're going to win the recession. And before I go, is there any questions or any comments at this point? We'll have time for questions at the end, but okay, let's keep going then. All right. I think the greatest job in the world would be to be the marketing manager for a product that's sold at truck stops. Because think about it, if you're a trucker, you can get anything you want at the truck stop. You can get food, you can take a shower, you can get internet service, you can buy parts for your truck, you can buy those little mud flaps that have Yosemite Sam on them. You can buy anything you want for your truck. And if you're the marketing manager, all you've got to do is get your product on the shelf. And the customers drive to see you every day. Hundreds of them, thousands of them, going to the truck stop, seeing your products. Wouldn't that be great? Well, think about how does that work for your business? Where is your truck stop? Where are your customers going? Where are they hanging out? Okay? So think about your business in a new way. Where is your truck stop? And the truck stop might have changed in the last few years. Okay? Maybe your customers are hanging out on the internet. Maybe they're spending more time on the internet. Or where do your customers hang out? Where do they hang out at health clubs? Do they hang out at grocery stores? Where do your customers congregate? All right? And if you think about that, just look at it in a new way. Where do your customers come together? That can help give you some insights and some innovations into how to market more effectively and more cost effectively. Okay? So these are free ideas basically to help you think about your business in a different way that might provide some advantage over your competition. Okay, here's number 2. That's a buffalo. It's a little dark, but so the Native Americans, what was their biggest asset in their business? It was the buffalo. Okay, and the buffalo provided everything for their community. And when they would kill a buffalo, they used every part of it. They used the skin for their housing, for their blankets, for their clothing. Of course, they used it for food. They used parts for their weapons, for their tools. So they used everything they had available to them. They used the whole buffalo. So think about what are the assets in your business, especially during a recession. What assets that you already have sitting around that you could use and leverage and market in a different way and create customer value in a different way. So let me give you some examples to help you think about this. The first example is a company I worked with in France, and they made coated, painted panels of metal. And they had lots and lots of different colors. And they had this big warehouse, and they had to keep all this metal of all the different colors in a warehouse, and they hated it because they just had to put all this money into their inventory, and it just sat there. And sometimes it sat there for years. And I said, well, maybe you could turn lemons into lemonade here. Maybe you could tell your customers, if you need an emergency supply of this metal, we have it. And they started thinking about it in a different way. And so they created a new rapid order system on their website. And the customers didn't know that this stuff's sitting in a warehouse, and they had to keep it anyway. And they said, we can give you overnight delivery anywhere in Europe of this special colored metal that you need, and you're going to pay 3 times as much for it. Okay? So this was an example of how they used something that was already sitting around to make more money. All right? Here's another example around resources. I had a conversation with a lady last week, and she said, let's have coffee. And she said, Mark, we need your help. We need your marketing advice. We need to sell more. because we're just sitting around looking at each other. Our business is down so much, we're just sitting around, we don't have enough to do. All right, well, that's an asset that they have right now, okay? You've got people's time. How can you use that as a competitive advantage? That's part of your buffalo right now. Your buffalo can change depending on the economic conditions. So I said, well, this might be a good chance to leverage these people. It might be a good experience for these people to go out and visit the customers and learn the customers and talk to them and see what, listen, respond, innovate, find new customer needs, find unmet needs, underserved needs, increase customer satisfaction, so take a look at that as far as creating a competitive advantage by using these underutilized people, okay? And the third example I have is around information. One of the things that when I worked for Alcoa, one of the businesses at Alcoa developed a newsletter that they would send once a week to their salespeople, because the salespeople were complaining. They said, well, the market's changing so fast, and our customers expect us to have all the information about what's going on in the market. How do we do that? So a group of smart people there put together this newsletter of information every week, and they sent it out to the customers. They sent it out to the salespeople to kind of keep them on top of what was going on. So then they found through some customer satisfaction survey that they did that the number one reason that the customers buy from Alcoa is because of their market knowledge, especially small companies that they can't assess the market all the time. So I pointed out, I said, well, we've got all this great market information that we already have. We have this newsletter that goes to the salespeople. Why don't we change it a little bit and send it to the customers? And they did. And this became a huge hit. The customers loved it. And they said, I want it on my BlackBerry. I want it on the internet. I want it on my cell phone. I want to see this every day because this is a competitive advantage I'm getting from Alcoa. And became so popular that they created this as a premium service to their customers. And they said, only our very best customers, you have to get to a certain level of buying from Alcoa, and if you get to that level, then you get this newsletter. And this was something they already had. Something that was free. Something that they already had for internal. So then they started thinking, well, gosh, that works so good. What else do we have sitting around? Well, we gave this PowerPoint presentation to a group of financial people on Wall Street about our outlook. And do you think our customers would like that too? Well, sure. So we looked at what information, and we turned it into a training program. We turned it into a training program of, here's how to hedge metal, here's how to do this. And we made it a premium service. So this is stuff that was already sitting around. So look in your own company. What are all your potential assets? Okay? Around people and resources and information and technology and production equipment. What can you do to leverage it? Okay?